Hey everybody, it's that time of the year again. Christmas is rapidly approaching, Santa's firing up the sleigh and Old Man Winter is blowing his load across the lands. In correlation to Christmas, many countries around the world tend to add their own twist to the holiday traditions and celebrations, some you most likely have never heard of, but to them it's just another way to celebrate the festive holidays. So here's a bunch of traditions around the world which I glanced over without any further sources besides one measly written-up article. Our first festive tradition comes from Venezuela. In the capital, many of the residents there typically go to church on Christmas Day. Sounds normal enough, but here's the catch: they go to church on roller skates, removing a need for a fume-emitting gas box like a car, and instead having a boot with wheels on your feet is a much more fun way to rock up to church. It's such a popular tradition over there, that all the roads in the city are purposefully closed off so the number of accidents are greatly reduced, so there's never a scene of 32 injured by a car driving through them. Instead it's just a handful of people falling on their ass for getting a little too cocky, trying to show off some roller skating tricks. I don't know why they do this, in fact, no one else knows why, but many people tend to boil it down to roller skating being an alternative to sledding, because being a tropical country like Venezuela would only ever see snow very rarely, if not, never. In Ethiopia, they celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, primarily because they use a different calendar to the standard Gregorian calendar that we all know and love. On the day, they like to indulge in a game of Ethiopian-styled hockey, or Jenna, as it's called. It's quite similar to normal hockey, but with a few changes. The origin of this tradition doesn't really have any solid ground for why Jenna is played, but the most likely story is that when the news of Jesus's birth was reached to Ethiopian shepherds, they were so overwhelmed with joy that they began hitting a ball around with their sticks. There's another story that floats around, but instead of Ethiopian shepherds playing with a ball, it's the three wise men hitting a dude's decapitated head around for denying the fact that the Son of God was just born. Now before I get to the next one, I wanna say that this one doesn't really have much of a solid history of tradition, since there's a few stories about how this one has come to be what it is. With that out of the way, this next tradition is all about a pickle, and not just any pickle, it's a special pickle. You could try to eat it, but you'd have to visit a doctor to extract the current glass embedded into your gums and tongue. This Christmas pickle, as it's called, comes with good fortune for children waking up on Christmas Day. Supposedly whoever finds the pickle ornament hanging on the Christmas tree first is said to receive an extra present, and the following year is filled with good luck. Nothing happens to the one who doesn't find the pickle first. Unfortunately they're just stuck with boring normal luck that you and I have. Now onto the backstory for this tradition. Again, it's widely disputed about where it has come from. The more believed story of this is that it was most likely used for marketing purposes from Germany exporting glass Christmas tree decorations to the US. But the other story talks about a Bavarian-born soldier in the American Civil War was captured by the enemy and sent to a prison camp. On Christmas Eve he begged for a single pickle from a guard at the prison. To quench his restless hunger, the guard had given him a pickle, which he claimed saved his life. When he returned to his family, he would always hide a pickle away on the Christmas tree every year. With one food-related tradition done, here's another. Did you know that in Japan, they eat KFC for dinner on Christmas? You heard me right, a bucket of deep-fried chicken has been the forefront of the Japanese Christmas cuisine for almost 50 years. The origins of a KFC Christmas dinner dates back to 1974, where the manager of the first and only Japanese KFC restaurant, Takeshi Okawara, had the idea of a KFC party bucket for Christmas. This idea was, weirdly enough, revealed to him in a dream. In the dream, he says that two foreign customers were in the restaurant, a little upset that they couldn't buy a turkey, so they settled on KFC instead. Cutting the dream short and waking up with the biggest idea he ever had, he got to work planning a party bucket that would be sold on Christmas as a marketing campaign. Needless to say, the campaign was substantially successful, and the popularity of it has only been going up ever since. And if you ever plan to travel to Japan to have the experience of a KFC Christmas, you're gonna miss out big time. You can't just walk into a restaurant and order it all willy-nilly. The queues will be spilling over 3 whole streets, and these people all ordered in advance, like, weeks in advance. Norway has a bit of an odd Christmas-Halloween crossover for this tradition. The Norwegians believe that Christmas Eve is the night where evil witches come out and wreak havoc against all household brooms, and to refuse the witches getting a kick out of using your broom for witchy things, you have to hide it. If the witches find your broom, they'll do typical witch stuff like sweeping, flying around on it, and playing with it, if you catch my meaning. You'll know you've been ding-dong witched, because your broom would be left in front of the Christmas tree broken up and destroyed. Let's end the video with a little weirdly wholesome one. In Portugal, it's tradition during their Christmas feast for families to leave extra plates out for relatives who have died, which is supposed to bring good luck to the family. That's enough Christmas traditions for one video. There's just so many out there to cover, so you should check them out if you want to know about more. Anyways, that's all for now. Stay safe and have a Merry Christmas, folks, and until next year, thanks for watching.